Hello, today begins our mission to finish this super large list of things to do in this whole downstairs house unit. I feel like I haven't really properly told you what's been going on. We kicked Dean to the side and continued with the project on our own. We couldn't get our money back, or at least we haven't yet. And so we had to continue on with a budget of like $8,000 less than what we thought. So we were gonna tile the breakfast room. We're not anymore. We're gonna sand it ourselves. We bought the tools and we're gonna do it. And then paint it. Questionable in checkerboard design. I'm into it, Justin's not. We'll keep you posted what happens there. Then with this kitchen, so the vent hood used to be over here. We decided after using the oven to move it over here. So the vent hood is now here. We kind of had to switch that out. We had the plumber, the electrician, and the gas people come. So we've got running water in the kitchen, which has been a godsend. We've got gas stove, so the kitchen now has a place to cook. The oven has been running, and we have water, basically, what else? Electric, all the things. Everything is good. The kitchen is finished. Justin and I had been working in several videos previously that you've seen snippets of us both removing the crown molding that was there and attempting to cut and replace the ugly old molding with bougie new molding that's much more like modern day wood technology, so it was kind of malleable a little bit and bendable. So we were able to mount pieces onto the corner, and we were like doing great, smashing it until actually it was the first piece of wood where we were like, this is not level. And then we continued on, and then we found out that more of the walls and ceilings were all settling and incredibly unlevel. Like the walls were just like wavy. I was getting so stressed out from the mathematical calculations, thinking about the different angles and ways that you have to cut each individual piece of crown molding. So I kind of left Justin hanging on that one, and he totally took it like a trooper, plowed through the entire project and found a new way of attaching the molding to the ceiling. Our original thought was that we were gonna have to like have it level, because that's normally what you would do in a house, and we were gonna lower the ceiling so that it would meet the lowest point of the crown molding. That was literally making me stress out so hard, because on the last piece of wood for the molding in that office room, I just looked at how much work it was gonna be, and we're gonna have to cover the entire floor and all my painting that I had done. Couldn't handle it. So Justin took it and basically finished it. There's one piece left that needs to be installed. So my mission on this list, and this was a big introduction, is to basically seal and caulk all the moldings so that it's smooth, cover all the gaps and everything, and then paint them, as well as finish the mural, and then also have to do all that in the living room as well. I've got to install the bug screens on this kitchen window. I've got to sand and prep all the flooring in the breakfast room so that we can kind of see what kind of wood we're dealing with, because we're gonna have to feather in new pieces, or I say we, it'll probably be mostly Justin. We've kind of like divided our projects so we can go mode and conquer. That's where we're at. So the update is no fret. The renovations are continuing, and we're about to take you on quite the adventure of like 101 things that we have to do today, or in the next 3 weeks. So wish us luck, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate with a ginormous Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving celebration. So stay tuned. Crown molding kind of day, and I thought I'd show you the madness of basically what's going on up here and how unlevel the ceiling is. So it's like probably, I don't know, 3/4 to an inch. That's probably an inch drop here, probably about 1/2 inch on that corner over there, and just all the corners are definitely not level. The center of this wall kind of droops down. We've been using shims to fill the gap, And I'm gonna probably wood fill that so I can get like a perfectly, or as perfect as possible, kind of vertical line. Sanded, and then I'll have to caulk the seams. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Also filling all these gaps, and then once everything is dry, I'll be able to go back over it and paint it. And then you'll never know, hopefully. And it'll look a little funky in some places, but this house is very wonky. So making the most of what we got to work with. So this room is kind of a mess, but progress is being made that much closer to being done.
We interrupt this broadcast with a delivery. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this portion of the video. After long hours of backbreaking woodwork, having an ergonomic and active working environment sounds very inviting. Don't know what I mean? Let me elaborate. This is a very fancy desk. Thanks to the dual motor engine, the E7 model is extremely stable. Its smooth movement allows everything on the desk to stay still. Not to mention, it's super silent. At its highest level, it's wobble-free and can hold 355 pounds. This carbon steel desk frame is rock solid and built to last. It's got a great range of heights for people 4'2" all the way to 6'3", making it adjustable for all members of the family. As you can see, Azalea's already claimed her space. The cable management board is a classy way to keep wires organized, because we all know how much of a nightmare wires can be. Plus, the USB port on the side keeps things handy for charging. So if you are ready to get $30 off your first order to upgrade your home office to this, use the link in the description so you can set yourself up with a great home office desk. Now, back to more woodwork.
What's this for, babes?
Just trying to plug up the floor.
But you never heard that saying before.
Plug
it up.
Plug it up. Really, the gap you'd be filling is
Oh,
up
it's
top.
up top, and then
Yeah.
you wouldn't even see. You just have to put some shims in the back.
I reckon before you start looking at that, make sure this matches up.
Yeah.
Does it match up all the way now?
Yeah.
It's good?
That looks good.
It took a minute for us to adjust to the more finished look, but the detail of having wood covering the crumbling plaster and a little reveal detail is a game changer to help the space feel more complete. We still have to caulk and paint and add wood trim that we stored in the basement from the demo so that the frames have the same detail everywhere. It will all help to keep the house much more cohesive and period. And this was no easy feat because, of course, no surprises, nothing is square or level.
Okay, Pop, tell us one thing that's on your list.
Apparently I've got to take apart all the drawers
Not
to
all of
apply
them.
the hardware.
Actually, yeah, sorry, all the drawers. Actually, not all of them. You didn't take apart the trash can.
Mommy, I want to take a picture of myself. Odin. Edison Odin? Please, Odin? Odin.
Can you see me?
Yes?
Okay, here's the thing. The hardware goes here, except that this, like, drawer here.
Wow.
Oh no. Basically where the hardware fits is like behind this wood piece, this second wood piece. So you have to take it off so we can drill it. And I guess you'll have to do like a hole like this, babe, huh? It says M over here. So that's a fun project. We were at the time very grateful that Dude Man who installed the cabinets decided to build the drawers. And now we despise him. I'm kidding. We're still grateful, but we do have to undo everything that he did and then rebuild it again.
I mean, didn't you build most of them?
I built like maybe 3 or 4 of them. Actually, Dude Man built most of them.
I need to go party.
Yeah, I built like 3 or 4 of
need
them
a
because I thought we were gonna have to wait.
So, the reason why we have to pull it apart So we've got to put the screws in and countersink the holes so that the front face of the cabinet can attach on top of that. Could we have just got longer screws and just screwed through both pieces of wood, this piece and this little faceplate that goes here? Yes, but this is located in such a way that if you were to drill through both pieces of wood, when you open the drawer, you would see top down a hole that was drilled through the second piece of wood that sits right here. It's just like exactly across the top of the piece of the wood, and that wouldn't look very good. So that's why.
Mission number 1. I have my trusty belt sander, which is a very intense tool and incredibly loud. So I bought some earplugs because I did it for like, I don't know, 7 minutes over here to just test it out and see if I needed a different grit or whatever. And my ears were ringing. So belt sanders are much, much louder than traditional sanders. But this came with the tool. It's an 80 grit. Not good enough. So I got a 40 grit. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it'll go faster. My goal is to sand the entire thing. Leveling it and prepping it for tile was just going to be just like way too much work and also far more expensive than we had originally thought. So I'm going to sand it, see what kind of wood we're dealing with, and we're going to patch the bad pieces with new wood. I think we're going to paint it and then seal it. So here we go.
So we have our good friend Vince staying with us for a couple days, and he's offered a helping hand to do some things here in the breakfast room, and so we've set him on a mission to sand this floor and have it kind of look more like wood floors because it was covered in so much gunk and glue and paste and stuff from the like 3 layers or 4 layers of floor that were originally here. So Vince has been working on sanding it up and kind of getting it down to more of like a wood floor finish, and I'm going to keep doing some work today in what will be the office room. I'm going to finish sealing up and sanding all the crown moldings and getting that finished so I can paint it, as well as finish the mural, Odin. And looks like Justin's been working just mostly on like framing out the door frames. And here's Odin, who's working on making everything that much more complicated by sitting in our laps the whole time. So with that, I'm going to get to work. Hello. Gosh, yesterday I had the camera attached to the tripod and I was like going through the paper doors separating the breakfast nook in the kitchen, and I wasn't paying attention, thought I'd put the tripod upright, and in fact heard a really loud bang and turned around and saw the camera had like landed lens first on the table. So hopefully everything is still gonna work and there won't be any like slow degrade. I am today working in the breakfast room. I've been, since everything is like in the process of drying, I've just been working on getting like all the wood filler and the caulk and everything like on so that I can paint. So right now I'm like wood filling the floors and all the places where we're gonna get splinters and all that. I feel like we could sand it down way more and really get after it, but I think what would benefit us better, since we're painting and sealing the floor, is to like wood fill where there's gonna be like splintery places, and we've sanded it as much as we can, and I'm gonna then sand the wood filler so it's smooth, and then we're gonna paint. And I think once we paint, you really won't even know where there's like cracks and stuff. And I'm also gonna put like a layer of polyurethane, so that's gonna help kind of keep everything sealed and not disturb the wood filler that I'm putting in. But I think it's gonna be much smoother once I get done with this. So today is wood filler day, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to paint and finish the office room. So busy day ahead. Welcome back from a much needed break. If you missed our video where we went for a mountain rock climbing adventure in the Red Pepper, it was very, very wonderful. Back at it in the house, I guess. Painted the second coat of the crown molding today, just now, and I still have to do this whole side, but I feel like it's a game changer. It kind of really makes the space feel complete. And my sister hardly working over here. I put her to work to do some stuff here in the breakfast room, and we've been like scraping out in between the floorboards to kind of pull out definition for each board. That way when I paint, the paint is probably going to drip into the seams of the boards and kind of fill it back up a bit again, but I wanted to get some of the grime out so it didn't just look completely flat whenever we painted it. I'll have to hit it with a sander and kind of like get fine finishings right on those seams, because since scraping it, it kind of has like a rough, splintery kind of feeling again. So I have to kind of fix that. But yeah, my mom's coming over tonight for a dinner. Sad but bittersweet also news to share with you guys that Mackenzie and Angelo are officially moving out. They found a place closer to Knox's school, so they're going to be, or they actually already have started moving out. They've already been staying there and are going to be coming today to get most of their gear with a move out truck. So yeah, we'll be able to start working on their downstairs rooms here shortly over the winter, and also refinishing the downstairs bathroom, which is all very exciting because that's the room, or both of those rooms will be the rooms that will be available for rent for our sort of sacred gathering collective space. So I'm excited. On to new adventures, but hopefully we can get this floor finished. We've got like about 2 weeks left until our Friendsgiving shenanigans, and yeah, we're hoping to get this floor done so that we can set it up with a table with some chairs and all that good stuff. So here we go. Okay, so Pop is over here working hard because his priority list of things to do on our ridiculously large and unrealistically doable list changed, and so he's over here chopping wood because we realized that for Friendsgiving, now that Angelo and Mackenzie have pretty much moved out all their gear, we only have like 3 chairs in the entire house. So the priority has now become not to thrift for chairs that we will have an unnecessary use for, but to build the banquet. Design of the banquet is now like a giant U instead of a corner feature, and we're probably going to have to add a light to kind of expand the light range for the dinette space. Plans have changed and everything is, as you know, ever evolving with this project, but Babes is building it up.
It's going well. I'm cutting wood.
Nice!
Scrap!
You like your woodcut skills.
We gotta talk about chair height. Cushy your cushion is gonna be.
How cushy the cushion? Oh yeah, it's gonna be cushy. Oh, it looks good. Nice. Wow, you were first, my friend. You learned from the Mexican crew.
So our standard is 18 inches, which is about, you know, what your chairs in the kitchen are. So I need to come down a little bit to accommodate for the cushions. So
Well, no, you would just do it to the bottom of the frame.
Just 17 inches. Is your cushion going to be about like that one? 'Cause if so, we'll make it 17 inches high and you can have an inch.
I think it'll probably be a little thicker.
Okay. Well, play around with the tape measure and let me know what you want.
2.5, 3 inches. Nice. So we are measuring out 2x4 pieces for like the back rest of our built-in section, and we're cutting them at 1/4 inch less than 2 feet for no particular reason. We already measured a piece that was pre-cut and it just so happened to be 1/4 inch less, so we're going with it. So I'm cutting these and then giving them to the Babes so that he can cut them at like a slight angle for like a slight recline. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this. Busy preparing for my big Moonflower Child launch, which will be super live if you missed it, so you can check it out on my website, moonflowerchild.com. Shameless plug real quick. Anyways, I thought I'd check on Pop because he's over here doing some project stuff for this bench that is coming along.
No, it's going well. It's just it's very time consuming. You get into like a custom build project like this, and then you start taking into consideration everything that's unlevel and like not straight, and you're trying to think about the design and how all the finishing pieces are going to fit together plumb and perfect. It starts to drive you a little bit crazy. And so it is moving along and I'm very happy, but I can't believe I thought I'd make more progress by now.
I think it looks good. Look, you've added electrical and like the whole side.
Don't get me wrong. I think I'm just,
You're having to undo stuff you already did. That's always super annoying. We had like made this, I say we, I mean the bit. I'm not doing any of this. Basically made it level with the edge of this, since this is pretty much a straight line because our wall is literally like that wonky. And we decided that wouldn't be a good idea because when we add the top finish board, it's gonna be like, and probably more obvious. So we're gonna push it all against the wall. Does that mean you, I guess, have to recut this piece here, huh? It's looking good. Massive dining space.
I was gonna have it so that the board went past this and then it was met. So there's a little bit of extra from this side sitting right here. And this is cut so that it makes the seam.
Okay, I have been prepping this space like nobody's business, and there's such a big difference in the floor situation compared to what it used to be. Just the thing is that I'm taking more time now so that I don't have to like come back and deal with issues down the road. So as you guys know, this originally was the kitchen, and there was like 3 layers of floor on here, and they demoed it and we were gonna tile it. So we were just gonna cover it because this wood was in such bad shape that like even the guy that redid our floors was like, no, we're not gonna redo that floor because it's a mess. And it probably wouldn't be worth it, but I guess in his mind he was probably also thinking like, yeah, the finish is gonna be like stain it and seal it. Anyways, today's the last day of doing this. I'm letting it dry and I'm sanding it down with like a finish sandpaper grit so it'll be super, super smooth and fine. And tonight I'm gonna paint it. But I have no idea where I'm at with this video, so I'm just gonna cut it now and save you the reveal and the whole painting progress and looks for the next video. So without further ado, catch you guys next week.
Well, we may not have finished the entire list. In fact, it was totally unreasonable, but we always shoot for the stores. At the end of the day, we cleared out things at our home that no longer served us and are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So stay tuned for next week when we share a reveal of the space and some fun projects that we did to make everything feel a little bit more cozy. Until next week, so long.
They got us all dolled up for this part of the video. Ooh. Check out Pops' fancy makeup.
What's up, Glam fam? How you doing?
Glam and Zay. Ooh. Nice work, babes. It's looking good.
Thank you.